Ladies and gentlemen, what is up? Another Star Wars video, I know, but this one is going to be fun, guys. I promised it. It's here, my official Star Wars movie rankings. All the movies, all 9 of them, including Rogue One and The Last Jedi. I'm giving you guys my placements. I'm also going to do an out of 10 scale kind of thing here. So, we're going to do an out of 10, and then, we'll do all of them leading up. So they each get their own individual score, and then I'll do something special. I'll tell you when we're entering the top 3. No spoilers for this list, so if you haven't seen any of these films, no spoilers, just my verdicts on them, what I think about this amazing, amazing saga of movies, and we'll just go from there. Well, guys, coming in at number 9 is Star Wars Attack of the Clones. This is episode 2 of the prequels. Now, do I hate this film? No. Do I like this film? Kind of. It's like, this is the mixedest kind of Star Wars for me. This has some of the worst parts of the series, and a couple redeeming scenes, but this is my lowest Star Wars movie. There wasn't a lot that I loved here. As a kid, I don't know, I didn't think Anakin's dialogue was cheesy. Watching it now, oh, it's despicable. It's despicable. Some of the stuff, just his quote about sand, I mean, everyone knows that one. It's awful, and there's so many things I don't like about this film, but I don't want to talk about just negative things here, so let's talk about some redeeming things. Okay. Biggest redeeming scene, Kamino, which is actually what they just showed right there with Jango Fett. I think this scene is so well done. So well done. If they just would have had, some Star Wars movie take place on just Kamino, I would have been so down. I swear, the scene in Kamino is just absolutely amazing. The droid factory scene is pretty good. I like the ending. I think the ending's fantastic, but other than that, this movie is just... it didn't do a lot for me, and I'm kind of sad to say that, because some people do like this movie. I've actually met a couple of them, and they've tried to kind of convince me to like it more, but it's never really got to me. It never really hit me the right way, and I'm giving this movie a 5.9 out of 10, which is, mediocre, almost, okay. So, yeah. Coming in at number 8, we have Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Some people, I don't know, some people don't agree with this, but this is another prequel. I mean, there's 3 prequels, a lot of people don't like them, but there's something kind of weird about this movie, because I don't hate this movie. I really don't. I don't hate it as much as everyone does. I think it's well structured. Some of the meetings, like the Jedi meetings, not that, but just the meetings with the Senate and everything, they did not hit me the right way. I thought it was boring, but scenes like the pod race scene, the fight against Darth Maul, they really redeemed this movie for me. So it's not bad. I don't think it's as awful as everyone says it is. Yes, Jar Jar is a disgrace to the whole series, but I really do think that people give this movie too much hate. I don't think it's, awful. There are some really bad qualities about it. I think it just does a good thing setting up. And I loved seeing Liam Neeson in a Star Wars film. I mean, of course, when I'm older, I realize, how big he is, but it was cool. And I loved Qui-Gon as a kid. And I loved having all these toys for all the racers. That scene it surprised me, and I didn't hate this movie, especially when it came out, and I don't hate it now. And I think the things that they were able to do with the fight choreography in this movie, it was amazing. I can't lie about that. It set up for just such a good time, because, I don't know, the original trilogy, although they're better than this, I do think that the lightsaber films weren't that good, but that was because of the technology. So, yes, Phantom Menace has a amazing lightsaber scene. You're actually seeing little snippets of it here, and I do not think this movie is that bad. I'm giving it a 6.8 out of 10. Now this, I think, sorry, I just had to see what that, this is gonna surprise a lot of people, but yeah, coming in at number 7 is The Force Awakens. So, I know, it's low on the list, and a lot of people are gonna be mad about this, but let me explain myself here. it is basically a remake for A New Hope, just with new characters and stuff, which wasn't what I thought at the beginning. And I don't hate this movie at all. You'll see that from my review at the end. But I don't hate this movie, but I don't love it either. There's just, it didn't really connect with me like some of the other Star Wars films really did. I think that the visuals are fantastic, and the way they brought the series back to life, amazing. But other than that, I didn't love a ton. I thought the battle at the end, especially leaving off from the best Star Wars battle of all time, spoiler alert for later, just, I don't know. It wasn't that good. I already talked about that, how with The Last Jedi kind of redeemed it. But there's just a lot that I didn't love about this movie, and Force Awakens it did a great job for what it was, and it just, I don't know. So it's visually stunning, music is awesome, but other than that, and like some of the characters, I love Poe, so good there, and I love Rey. Just, I didn't love the ending of this film. I totally wish Mark Hamill would have done something right there, like force the lightsaber to him. But, you know, this film is not awful, it's not bad, it's a good film. It's a great film at some moments, and I don't hate this film. I don't hate any of these films. And I'm giving Force Awakens a 7.0 out of 10, which some people are going to be mad about, but I think this is a good Star Wars movie. Some people are also going to get mad at me for this one, but coming in at number 6th place is The Return of the Jedi. Now, this film does a lot. A lot of people think it's the worst out of the original trilogy, which in my opinion, yes it is, but that does not mean it's bad. I think for what it was, the way it ended the original trilogy was fantastic, and the lightsaber fight we got at the end is just amazing. I love Darth Vader in this movie. He was all so scary to me as a kid, and I don't know, I just thought it was so cool to see how they would end such a good movie franchise, you know? Like, and some people did think this was the end. Before the prequels, this was the end, and I think it was a great ending. You know, my complaints about the film, I do not love, besides the ending lightsaber fight and the actual ending, I do not love most the third and second act. Some of it was just really, really weak to me, and I didn't like it as much as the other ones. But saying that, I mean, I still love parts of this movie, and obviously, I think it's good. I think all the Star Wars movies are good once again, and I'm gonna give this one a solid 7.6 out of 10. Trust me, this is gonna bug a lot of people too, but this is my list. I am giving number 5 spot on this list to Rogue One. Personally, I think this is the most visually stunning out of the Star Wars movies, and a lot of people do agree with me on that one. I just think there's a lot that I love about this movie. There's a ton that I love about this movie. I think some of the action scenes are just amazing. And I know I said there was going to be no spoilers, but if you haven't seen Rogue One yet, I would just skip a couple seconds ahead. The reason I love this movie so much is the fact that it had the guts to kill off every main character, and it wowed me. Like, I've never seen a movie that's really done that before. If you know of one, comment it down below and I'll check that out, but I don't know, I loved it when it came out. It's visually stunning. The music is amazing. It was a perfect little break in between Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, and it got me so excited to see other Star Wars story films, such as Solo, coming out next year. This movie really did it for me. It came out on my birthday too, which might have been part of the reason I liked it so much, but there's so much about this movie that I love, and I just think that it's one of the best. And I'm honestly giving Rogue One, and some people are going to be mad at this, I'm giving it an 8.0. So not a ton over the last one, but there's so many redeeming qualities of this film. Fantastic characters, fantastic just music, visuals. I know I said visuals a lot, but it's true. It's quite amazing. Even the sound design is it's awesome. And I'm giving it a solid 8.0 out of 10. Yes, the next film on our list is A New Hope. This movie, I wasn't going to put it as high as I did, because when I first saw this movie, I saw the prequels first, because when I was growing up, the prequels were already done, and they were like, oh, okay, you can see 1, 2, 3 of them, go to this one, and I didn't like it. which a lot of people are going to be like, what, you didn't like A New Hope? And at the time, I really didn't. I was like, oh, this is so boring. But when I came back, there was something just magical about this film. It started Star Wars, one of my favorite film series ever. Alec Guinness has an amazing performance as Obi-Wan, and there was so much that I loved. Introduction of Han Solo, introduction of Luke, Leia, it started it all. It's a fantastic film. One major complaint, the lightsaber fight is literally just two old geezers poking sticks at each other, which it really is. I'm sorry if you like that one. I don't know. I don't think it's that great. But that's really it. I think just some of the scenes in this film are like, okay, like you totally see this to be general movie tropes that appear in the other Star Wars films. And I'm giving Star Wars A New Hope my 4th spot, an 8.7 out of 10. I adore this movie. I think it's fantastic. You might have been looking for the 3rd prequel, and I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for it, but it's here. My 3rd favorite Star Wars film is Revenge of the Sith. Now, a lot of people are going to give me garbage for this, and I'm ready to take it on, because I think this film is just wonderful to behold. People were thinking, oh, the first 2 prequels were not even that good. How is he going to figure it out? How is he going to tie them all together? And they did it so well. I adore this movie. I just think that, it's so suspenseful, and you know it's leading up to something dark and something just amazing that I'm going to talk about later. The complaints I have about this film, yeah, cheesy dialogue. There's going to be cheesy dialogue in any Star Wars movie. And just some of the parts didn't land. I didn't think they were supposed to be there, but especially when I saw this movie when I was younger, it just blew me away. I thought it was just fantastic. The choreography in this film for the lightsaber fighting is the best in the series, hands down. And you're going to know what I mean, especially if you haven't seen this scene before. You cannot tell me that you do not love this scene. This scene is literally just mind-blowing from start to finish. This is what the whole series has been leading up to this far. This is what it is. This is what started the main thing with Darth Vader. This is the creation of Darth Vader. This whole scene is just a masterpiece. The choreography is insane. The visual effects, I think, still hold up today. In fact, better than some of the other ones. I think now you can kind of realize why I was disappointed in the fight in Force Awakens, because, look what they're doing here. Force Awakens was not even, I'm sure it was better. It was a lot better than, the visual effects are than this, but some of the fighting just isn't as good, and I was thinking, why can't they go back to this? Just every part in this is so amazing to me. It's so suspenseful. The choreography is on point. You cannot tell me that you don't love this scene. And if you guys don't like this movie, that's fine. This is my opinion, but I think it's great. It leads up to something amazing. Just the dark tones in this film really hit me, especially as a kid. I just thought it was so cool. This was the Star Wars film that I wanted to see. It was what I got, and I talked about my favorite scene in The Last Jedi. I don't even think that lightsaber fight is half of this one, because I love this fight so dang much. And speaking of Star Wars The Last Jedi, now listen, because some of you are going to be a little mad about this. I gotta go back and say something. Yeah, I'm giving Revenge of the Sith a 9.0. So, actually a 9.2. Sorry, I'm just checking my thing here, but I think that film's amazing. But yeah, I kind of spoiled the next one. I do think this film is just outstanding. Return of the Jedi, is like this film to me in this new series. Like, Return of the Jedi some of it kind of feels like it, especially the lightsaber scene, just the area that it was shot in. But The Last Jedi is just, it's special to me because it's the first time that I've seen a Star Wars movie only once and just loved it. I know there's some mistakes in this film that I didn't mention in my full-fledged review, which you can check out on my channel, but I adore this movie. I think that there's so much that they set up, and it's just, I love Rian Johnson's take on the story. If you want to see my full thoughts of this movie, you can go check out my full-fledged review on my channel. It was the last video I made, so it should be pretty easy to find, but I think some of the quotes in this Star Wars film are just amazing, and I think it's just as visual stunning as Rogue One just being a little bit above it, but this film just blew me away the first time I saw it, and I'm so excited to go see it again. And maybe it's just because it came out and it's like one of the most recent Star Wars films I've seen, but I really do think this film is just absolutely amazing. Not only is every scene just amazing to look at, but there's so much that I just loved about it. I thought that the scene where Rey and Ren, like, they come together, Rey and Kylo Ren come together to fight the guards, was just a masterpiece to behold. So much visual beauty here. Like I said, Rian Johnson, you want to make your own trilogy, I'm all for it after this movie. I think The Last Jedi is one of the best Star Wars movies. I'm putting it at my number 2. I'm giving it a 9.6 out of 10. Well, if you eliminated the choices that we have left, there's only one. This Star Wars movie, in my eyes, is a near perfect one. My first place Star Wars movie, my favorite Star Wars movie, Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back. I think this movie is just, it's brilliant. I love the way it looks. I love the sound direction. I love the way it plays out. And everyone does. Like, I don't know a lot of people that don't like Empire, but every little bit blows me away. It was crazy that this was like the first sequel, I feel like, that was truly better than an original. Well, like, as long as it came back. Like, I haven't seen some of the more adult movies where the sequels are better, but I think that this movie is everything that a Star Wars movie should be, and it set a little marker for what the rest of them should go up to, and I honestly don't think that any of them have met it, because I adore this film. I adore the crap out of this film. I'm giving it a 9.8 out of 10 for being near perfect. My only problems with the film are just some pacing issues, kind of, and that's really it. But there isn't a ton of pacing issues. I just thought the lead into some of the scenes was a little weird. But seriously, Empire Strikes Back is amazing. If you're someone who just started watching Star Wars, like you just came in The Force Awakens or something, and you've just seen the new 3, go back to Empire, because it is amazing. It is so good. 9.8 out of 10, guys. Empire Strikes Back is my favorite Star Wars movie. You guys can comment your Star Wars movies below, but I'm going to end this with the last section before we end the entire video. Well, guys, what did you think of my list? Do you completely disagree with me? Do you agree on some of them? Did you like the way that I put them out of 10? Comment down below. I want to see your guys' favorite Star Wars movies, your rankings of them. Give me a 9. Give me like all 9 Star Wars movies ranked. I want to see your guys' opinion on this, because this is my opinion. I did just, think of this, and maybe I'll make one in the future again. And obviously, you know, I'm going to be reviewing more Star Wars movies as they come out, but maybe I will do a kind of thing of this, because, I mean, opinions change all the time. Like, my favorite Star Wars movie is probably going to change at one point, and maybe the whole list will change. Maybe I'll like old movies that I didn't like as much the first time. Maybe I'll dislike some of the newer movies. But yeah, so if you like this video, you can leave a like. You can comment down below what you think. Subscribe for more Star Wars videos. Nintendo videos, like gameplay, and some more games actually that aren't from Nintendo. I know people have been asking me to do that because my channel is mostly Nintendo. You like this video, please leave me a like up, really appreciated. Subscribe if you like this video. This is my list of Star Wars movies. If you don't agree with me, that's fine, because this is my opinion, but I really do think Star Wars is, definitely the most, well-known movie saga that, of all time, that has just gone on this far, and I love these movies. And I know some of the verdicts on this were lower than some people thought they were going to be, but truth be told, I don't hate any of these movies. I don't hate them. I know that Attack of the Clones was the last one, but I don't solely hate that movie. There's going to be things that I hate and I love, and Star Wars is something that I definitely love. Sure, there are some okay movies, but there's so many good ones, they just cancel them out. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Fable Joey, and I'll see you next time.